Hey Crush fans! At Gay Celebrity Crushes, we have been working overtime to bring you 4 hot men from 3 different centuries, all in one video. From classic Hollywood heartthrobs to modern-day social media sensations, these guys have captured our imaginations in ways that are, well, unforgettable. So buckle up as we dive into the lives of Richard Arlen, Cory Gruter-Andrew, George Maharis, and Mariano Razo. First up, we've got Richard Arlen, born in St. Paul, Minnesota, a whopping 125 years ago today. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who? But if you've seen Wings, the first film to win Best Picture, you've already seen Arlen's work, particularly the groundbreaking all-male action scene with the equally crushable Charles "Buddy" Rogers. To this day, some insist the lads were just expressing their friendship. Yeah, okay. Well, maybe the lost generation was more woke and in touch with their emotions than we give them credit for. Or perhaps Good Friends was the century-old equivalent of No Homo. Honestly, I would have happily spent all my school years attempting to friend-zone the boys if I thought it would lead to us locking lips. But back to Wings. Arlen and Buddy were a tasty couple, but the one I wanted to get up into the upright and locked position was their fellow cadet, a very young Gary Cooper. Now let's switch gears to a rising star born in 2001, Cory Gruter-Andrew. Think about that, folks. There's an entire century between Richard Arlen's birth and this Canadian cutie. Cory is best known for his role in Anne with an E, where he played a gay character that had many people swooning.
He wanted to hurt me today because he couldn't punish himself for being like me.
Like you?
I'm the same as Josephine Barry.
But with boys.
Personally, I prefer the bad boys or daddies. But Cory's portrayal was so sensitive, so real, it made us all wonder about his own story. He's kept pretty mum about his personal life, so who knows? Maybe one day he'll spill the tea. But honestly, in our social media-driven world, don't you sometimes think that offering the old, "I like to keep things private" excuse is the equivalent of the speaker shouting, how did they phrase it in Clueless? Yeah, doesn't it scream to the world that the speaker is a disco-dancing, Oscar Wilde-reading, Streisand ticket-holding friend of Dorothy? Or am I just being cranky? Anyway, whatever Cory's tale, it's his to tell. Until then, we'll just keep crushing on his on-screen charm. Next, we hit the road with George Maharis, born in 1928 in Astoria, New York, and best known for Route 66. This guy had a long storied career, but it wasn't all smooth driving. George found himself in the headlines for some, let's call them public indiscretions, back in the 60s and 70s. But hey, the charges were dismissed, and he kept rolling along. George was a trailblazer on screen and off, living life on his own terms. And while he might have felt like he would die of embarrassment at the time, George kept on going, finally passing away last year at the age of 94. Which reminds me, Sir John Gielgud, who faced a similar charge in London, lived to be 96, must have been something in the, water of certain men's rooms. In any case, I definitely would have taken a ride with George back in the day. Oh, and by the way, you'll find a link to our video tribute to Sir John in the description. And while you're down there, why not hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video? And last but definitely not least, Mariano Razo. Born in 1999, this Mexican gymnast and TikTok star is making waves for more than just his athletic skills. If you haven't seen his flips and tricks, you've probably seen his, let's say, more personal content that leaked online. And oh, heck yeah, we're all wondering the same thing. Is he or isn't he? And are there more videos? Alas, your guess is as good as mine. But perhaps if your Spanish is better than mine, you can get the tea and post it in the comments because, sacre bleu, I studied French instead of Spanish in high school. Ay caramba. Whether you're here for his gymnastic prowess or just to admire his physique, Mariano's got something for everyone. But if you're seriously jonesing for more Gymnast Man candy, check out our tribute to the body beautiful Mitch Gaylord, who won gold for the good old US of A at the 1984 Olympics. You'll find a link in the description, conveniently close to the subscribe button and the notification bell. And there you have it, folks. 4 incredible men, 4 incredible stories. But which one is the one for you? Does Richard's lip work send you soaring? Or are you partial to Cory and a night of disco dancing, Oscar Wilde reading, Streisand ticket holding? Oh, I beg your pardon. Or are you partial to Cory and a night of poetry readings and keeping personal things personal? Perhaps your wanderlust is urging you to get out and cruise the highways and byways, among other places, with George. Or maybe, if you speak Esperanto or the international language of lust, you'd prefer to spend some time with Mariano, helping your new amigo master his mounts and dismounts. Or perhaps prod him to complete that much-anticipated sequel. Whomever you fancy, be sure to vote in the poll in our community section and explain yourselves in the comments. Until next time, or at least next time for those of you who've subscribed and turned on notifications, the rest of you, we hope to see you again. But without a subscription, we fear you might never find your way back to us.
Hoy desperté con un sueño, ver al mundo mejor, una vida pura entrega, donde brille el amor. Juntos podemos dejar el odio atrás, las razas, las guerras, las clases, las fronteras, y así vivir.